Let's start with chapter 3, practical questions. Practical question 1. There are four directors. In Two Supremes Limited, Mr. Rao, being the director in station, has been authorized to draw and endorse the check or other negotiable instruments on account of the company, and also to direct registration or transfer of shares and signing the share certificate, etc. Whether as per the company's act, he will be required as a managing director, also known as the procedure of appointment of a managing director. હવે સાદા જે normal કામ હોય તે બધું પેલામાંની આવે shall not Mr. Rao shall not be as managing director because કઈ પેલું જે ચેક ડ્રો કરવાના લીધે એને managing director બનાવવા કઈ valid point નથી. Also narrate the procedure શું છે board meeting માં હોવું જોઈએ, circular resolution થી meet હોવું જોઈએ by an ordinary resolution in the next general meeting and by CG in case such appointment is at the variance of the conditions specified in part 1. The place shall be CG in application के हम जरूर जो MR2 within 90 days of such appointment. The notice of convening board or general meeting for consulting such appointment should include the terms and conditions of such remuneration payable. Okay, a return in the form MR1 should be filed to the register along with the prescribed fees. 60 days માં એટલે procedure શું છે board meeting માં RBC allowed નથી plus ordinary resolution next general meeting અને next general meeting માં ફાઇલ થઈ જવું જોઈએ પ્લસ સીજી નો અપ્રુવલ ઇફ કોઈ વરાયન્સ છે તો વરાયન્સ હોય તો સીજી નો અપ્રુવલ જોઈશે એ કેમાં લેવાનો MR2 માં લેવાનો 90 days માં લેવાનો અને એ વસ્તુને આપણે ROC ને જ કહેવાની કેટલા દિવસમાં 60 days માં કહેવાની. ચાલો પતી ગયો, આન્સર કઈ નથી. ચાલો બીજો practical question 2. Prince was appointed as additional director by the board of directors of John Limited on 1st March 2015. He was simultaneously appointed as the company's managing director by majority voting at the same board meeting. Prince was appointed as an additional director અને એને પછી એ જ board meeting માં managing director તરીકે. Referring to the provisions of Companies Act, examining the validity of the appointment of Prince as additional director and as a managing director at the same time. What should be your answer in case Prince failed to get appointed at the company's annual general meeting? As per 250, is a director who is interested. Okay, only a director can become a managing director. In other words, a manager must be a director in the first place. Thus, board shall appoint a person among themselves to be a managing director. Any director, whether rotational or non-rotational, can be appointed as a managing director. Further, even an additional director can also be appointed as a managing director. As per section 161, subsection 1, the articles of company may confer on its board of directors the power to appoint any person as additional director at any time. Thus, the power to appoint additional directors can be exercised by the board only if the articles confer such power to the board. Further, an additional director shall hold office up to the date of the next AGM or the last date on which the AGM should have been held, whichever is earlier. Thus, an additional director does not retire by rotation. Therefore, a person appointed as an additional director can continue in office after the next AGM meeting only if he is appointed as a director in the annual general meeting by complying with the provisions of section 160. From the above provisions, it is clear that even an additional director can be appointed as a managing director, and there is no requirement that the appointment of a person as an additional director and as a managing director has to be made in separate board meetings. Thus, the company has not contravened any provision of the Companies Act by appointing Prince as an additional director as well as managing director in the board meeting. It is assumed that the board of directors of John Limited are authorized by the articles. If Prince fails to get appointed as a director in the AGM, he shall cease to be an additional director. He shall cease to be an additional director as well as managing director, since only a director can become a managing director. એટલે જો AGM માં appoint નહીં થયો, AGM માં appoint નહીં થયો, તો પછી એ MD અને AD બંનેમાંથી remove થઈ જશે કેમ કે એ director જ નથી થયો. એટલે આ point clear. Question number 3. X was appointed as managing director for life by the articles of association of a private company incorporated on 1st June 2022. The articles also empowered X to appoint a successor. X appointed by will G to succeed him after his death. Examine in his connection, can X be appointed for life as a managing director, or can G succeed as X as managing director after the death of X? A company in a general meeting can remove any director. Okay, thus it can be concluded that the appointment of Mr. X for life is invalid as per the 196. Further, Mr. X is not entitled to Mr. G as a successor for the position of managing director, as no provision of the Companies Act empowers. હવે એમાં શું છે exceeding 5 years, પણ એ અપોઇન્ટ ક્યારે કરી શકે? 5 વર્ષ માટે જ અપોઇન્ટ થઈ શકે, અને જો રીઅપોઇન્ટ કરવો હોય તો 5 વર્ષ એન્ડ થવાના હોય તો 1 year ની અંદર જ આપણે રીઅપોઇન્ટ કરવો પડે. એવું નહીં કે લાઈફ ટાઈમ મારે તમે સિલેક્ટ આર્ટિકલ્સ બી કરો તો બી ચાલશે નહીં. A company in general meeting can remove any director from his office by following the provisions. Second question, can he succeed as managing director after the death? Is it possible for the company in general meeting to remove X from the office of directorship during his lifetime? Okay, a company in general can remove any from its office by following the provisions of section 169. Empowers any company, whether private or public, to remove any director, that is even managing director, before the expiry of his term by passing an ordinary resolution after complying with the procedure in the ordinary resolution pass કરીને કરી શકે after complying with the procedure given in that section. Therefore, had Mr. X been appointed validly as per section 196, then it would have been possible for the company to remove Mr. X from the office of director by following the procedure laid down in section 169. Practical question 4. ABC Limited wants to appoint a managing director for the company. Out of the following persons who can be appointed as a managing director in the company as per the provision of the Companies Act, person 71 years old, tema શું છે? Such appointment should be made by a special resolution and the explanatory statement justifying of such person is annexed where no such special is passed but the votes cast in favor of the notion exceeds the votes cast against. CG is satisfied on an CG ને satisfaction માટે આપી દેવાનું that such appointment is most beneficial to the said appointment can be made. પછી શું છે? Mr. Samuel, who has been sentenced for a period of 2 months for the conviction of an offense under the Income Tax Act 1961. એક દિવસ બી જાય એટલે ચાલે નહીં. એટલે CG નો approval local. Since Mr. Samuel has been sanctioned for a period of 2 months under the Income Tax Act, which is one of the 19 acts specified in the part 1 of Schedule 5, ABC Limited can appoint Mr. Samuel only after seeking approval of CG. એટલે Schedule 5 માં જેટલી બી પેલું હતું, Schedule 5 વાળું જેટલું બી હતું, તેમાં અપોઇન્ટ તો કરી શકે. ક્યારે કરી શકે? જ્યારે CG નું અપ્રુવલ આવી જાય પછી અપોઇન્ટ તો કરી જ શકે એ લોકો. એટલે એવું નથી કે તમારું અપ્રુવલ જ કેન્સલ થઈ જાય. એટલે તમે અપ્રુવ તો કરી શકો, ખાલી CG નું અપ્રુવલ લઈ આવજો. પછી સેકન્ડ શું છે હવે? થર્ડ પોઈન્ટ શું છે? Mr. Manoj, who is an undischarged insolvent, as per section, no company shall appoint or continue to employment of any person as managing director, full-time director or manager who is an undischarged insolvent or that has at any time been adjudged as insolvent. Therefore, Mr. Manoj cannot be appointed. આ વસ્તુ તો પ્રોહિબિટ છે. તમે પ્રોહિબિટ છે આ વસ્તુ, કેમ કે તમે જો ઇન્સોલ્વન્ટ તમે એડ્યુડિકેટ થઈ ગયા છો, તો ધેટ્સ ઇન ધ પ્રોહિબિશન પાર્ટ. સો એને તમે સીજી ના અપ્રુવલ થી બી કઈ નહીં કરી શકો. Now, practical question 5. Mr. Smart, a technocrat aged 71 years and reputed to be a specialist in reviving sick companies, is being considered to be appointed as managing director of Downhill Industries Limited. The company has been incurring losses for the past several years and its effective capital is rupees 500 crores. Referring to the can Mr. Smart, okay, એમાં તો SR લઈ લો અને જો કદાચ અને સ્પેશિયલ એક્સપ્લેનેટરી સ્ટેટમેન્ટમાં અપોઇન્ટમેન્ટ જસ્ટિફાઈંગ એનેક્સ્ચર કરી દો. અને જો એ નથી થતું, votes cast in favor should be exceeding votes cast against it. અને જે થઈ ગયું તો તમે સીજી ના અપ્રુવલ થી અપોઇન્ટમેન્ટ વેલિડ કરી શકો છો. What is the effective capital as per Schedule 5 of the Act? As per Part 2 of Schedule 5, effective capital means the aggregate of paid up share capital amounts outstanding at the credit of share premium account, if any, reserves and surplus excluding revaluation reserve, long-term loans and deposits repayable after 1 year, excluding working capital loans, overdraft, interest due on loans unless funded, bank guarantees, etc., and other short-term arrangements, and reduced by the aggregate amount of any investments, except in case of investment company accumulated loss and preliminary expenses not written off. As per what is the maximum permissible remuneration as per Companies Act 2013? As per section of Schedule 5, in case of companies having no profits or inadequate profits, the maximum yearly revenue payable to such a managerial person where the effective capital of the company is rupees 250 crores and above shall be rupees 120 lakh plus 0.01% of the effective capital in excess of rupees 250 crores. Therefore, in the above case, the maximum yearly remuneration for the managing director should be rupees 120 lakhs plus 0.01% of 250 crores, that is rupees 500 crores minus 250 crores, that is rupees 122.50 lakhs. The remuneration in excess may be paid if a special resolution is passed by the shareholders for the Downhill Industries Limited being a sick company and if a scheme of revival of rehabilitation has been ordered by the board for industrial and financial reconstruction, then the remuneration in excess of limit specified in section 2 can be paid for a period of 5 years from the date of sanction of scheme of revival, even without any special resolution passed by the members of the company. Practical question 6. The managing director of Mrs. Speculative Builders Limited has resigned as the company was not doing well and also incurring losses. Okay, profits are there. The board of directors have decided to appoint Mr. Reliable, age 71 years, as the new managing director. Now managing director, because of his proven track record of 50 years, turning sick companies into the profitable ones. The only condition put forward by Mr. Reliable is that he should be paid the maximum permissible salary and perquisites as provided in the Companies Act 2013 without requiring the approval of central government. The effective capital of the company is rupees 20 crores. तो बच्चे वाले लिमिट 70 years old तो खबर पड़ी गई है कि હું છે the educate for the appointment of Mr. Reliable and the quantum of remuneration age will એકવાર એમાં શું છે 84 rupees 5 crores and above but less than 100 crores હોય તો 84 lakhs pay કરવું પડે. 84 lakhs. Therefore, in the above case, the maximum yearly remuneration payable is rupees 84 lakhs. However, the remuneration in excess of may be specified by special resolution. Further, as per section 4 of the part 2 of schedule 5, managerial remuneration shall be eligible for the following requisites, which shall not be included in the computation of the ceiling of remuneration: contribution to PF, superannuation, and annuity fund to the extent this either singular quote not taxable, gratuity payable at a rate of of at a rate not exceeding half of a month salary for each completed year of service, and encashment of leave at the end of the tenure. જે એ કર્યું હોય તો એ બધું પેલામાં નહીં આવશે. Practical question 7. Mr. Mania Mr. Mania is a managing director of S Limited and nowhere else, which is a subsidiary. And Mr. Mania is a managing director of S Limited and nowhere else, which is a subsidiary of S Limited. Seeing the success of S Limited, the directors of S Limited, which is a listed company, okay, the public company, all you decided and approached Mr. Mania to act as the managing director of S Limited. Mr. Mania agreed with the directors of S Limited, subject to a condition that he will continue to act as the managing director of S Limited. Also, in this direction, the directors of S Limited proposed to appoint him by means of a resolution containing the terms and by circulation RBC. So, नहीं था UBR करना पड़ता है. Referring to the relevant provisions of the Companies Act, decide whether the decision of appointing and the proposed mode of appointment of Mr. Mania as the managing director of S Limited is valid. Will your answer differ in case S Limited is not a subsidiary of H Limited? As per section 196, the terms by the board at a meeting ordinary CG no approval. As per section 20, the whole time should not hold office when more than one company. As per 19674, estimated to appoint Mr. Mania, who is holding the office of MD in its subsidiary company is valid, but the proposed mode of appointment shall be mode of appointment that is passing is not valid because as per the section, the resolution shall be passed at a board meeting only containing the terms, including the remuneration. Further, as per section 203, a company may appoint a managing if he is already an MD or a manager of some other company. The following condition of fulfilled is only in one other company. Such appointment is made or approved by resolution passed at a meeting. The board shall be passed with consent of all the directors. Specific notice of such meeting of such resolution shall be passed. So, in case S Limited is not a subsidiary of S Limited, still it can appoint Mr. Mania as the managing director by complying with the provisions mentioned above. A full-time key managerial person shall not hold office in more than one company except in subsidiary company at the same time. એટલે એ ચાલી શકે. ચાલો. Practical question 8. You are a leading chartered accountant advising corporates covering various aspects in their internal life on corporate and economic laws, corporate tax, and related matters with excellent articulation skills and in a much sought after professional on the board of many reputed companies. Recently, you have been approached by Dashboard Limited, a loss-making company, seeking your advice on the validity of the appointment of Mr. X, a turnaround specialist, as a full-time director of the company with effect of 1st January 2022, on which the date he would be above 70 years of age. You are further informed that an extra EOGM of the company held on 15th March 2022, the shareholders have not passed a special resolution with regard to the appointment of Mr. X, but the votes cast in favor of the motion exceeded the votes cast against the motion. The company has provided the following inputs. Okay. Value to validity of Mr. X as a full-time director. Compute the effective. Okay. Such appointment is made by special resolution. The votes in okay. However, if the board of directors has further applied to the CG and obtained their prior approval by satisfying that Mr. is most beneficial, then the appointment of Mr. X as a full-time director is a valid. क्या तुम्हारे CG ने explain proof करते. Compute the effective capital for payment of managerial remuneration. Okay, so पहले तो आवी जैसे paid up capital आवी जैसे आपको full paid up capital आवी जैसा આપણે paid up જોવાનું 860 આવી ગયો. પછી share application money deduct થશે 60 excluding share application. Okay, તો આપણું paid up share application money કે એ લોકો क्वेश्चन માં શું છે excluding જ છે કદાચ. I guess મને જ્યાં સુધી યાદ છે ત્યાં સુધી paid up share capital, share application money. Company is in process of follow on okay. તો 860 paid up share capital, share application money એમાં છે જ નહીં એટલે 860 આવી ગયું આ. પછી add reserves and surplus પણ એમાં revaluation reserve નહીં આવવું જોઈએ એટલે ખાલી 600 આવી ગયો. પછી add long term borrowings 800 એ બંને એડ થઈ જશે 600 ને 800 1400 એડ થઈ ગયા, ડિડક્ટ કરો, ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ ડિડક્ટ કરી દેવાનું અને એક્યુમ્યુલેટેડ લોસીસ ડિડક્ટ કરી દેવાનું. 2060 crores છે તો પછી 250 crores and above shall be rupees 120 lakhs plus 0.1% of the effective capital in excess of rupees 250 crores. 0.01 of 1810 2060 minus 250 એટલે 120 lakh plus 18.10 lakh, that is 138.10 lakh, 0.01% of banana difference. However, remuneration in excess above limit may be paid by special resolution is passed by for the work has appointed for a part of a year. The limits of maximum shall be prorated. As per section 197, subsection 4, the remuneration payable to the directors, including a director, shall be determined by articles, ordinary or special related articles. So, the fourth question: how is the remuneration payable to a whole-time director? Okay. ક્યાંથી એને પાવર્સ મળે સર? તો આ ત્રણ જગ્યા પરથી આર્ટિકલ્સમાંથી ઓઆરમાંથી કાં તો સ્પેશિયલ રિઝોલ્યુશન જો આર્ટિકલ પ્રોવાઈડ કરે તો. પ્રેક્ટિકલ ક્વેશ્ચન 9. Mr. Ballu is a CEO of the public company. State whether the limits of managerial remuneration under section 197 of the Companies Act and schedule apply to Mr. Ballu. Is a CEO and schedule, okay. A ખાલી પેલા લોકોને do not apply to other key manager person, that is CFO, CEO, CFO and company secretary. ખાલી remuneration of directors including managing directors, whole time on a non-executive directors. ત્રણ જ જણ જ કરે managing whole time on a non-executive director. બીજા કોઈના માટે આ લાગતો નથી. Shall not apply to Mr. Ballu. Question 10. International Technology, a listed company being managed by a managing director, proposed to pay the following managerial remuneration. Commission at the rate of 5% of the net profits to its managing director, Mr. Kamal. બરોબર? હું ખોટું છે. When there is only one MD, the overall 5%, whether it's one MD, WTD or manager, more than one, sir. Okay, shall not exceed 10% of net profits of the company for the financial year and is being managed by only managing director. The proposal to pay commission at the rate of the net profits is valid since payment doesn't exceed the limit and whether is being managed by only a managing director proposed to 5% also. The directors other than managing director proposed to be paid monthly remuneration of rupees 50,000 and also commission at the rate of 1% of net profit of the company, subject to the condition that overall remuneration payable to an ordinary resolution, including monthly remuneration payable to each one of them, shall not exceed 2% of the commission is to be distributed equally among all the directors. Where there is an MD or WD in the 1% કરી શકે, no MD, તો પછી 3% કરી શકે. Payment exceeding the aforesaid limit, exceeding may be paid by obtaining approval of the company in general meeting by special resolution, and where the company has defaulted in payment due to તે લોકોનો prior approval લઈ લો. પણ અહીંયા હું થઈ in the given case the company already has managing director, thus total paid cannot exceed 1% of the net profit of the company, but the company proposes to pay its non-executive directors a monthly remuneration of rupees 50,000 and commission at the rate of 1% of net profits of the company. Thus, that the overall remuneration payable to them does not exceed 2% of the net profit of the company. Thus, the proposed remuneration of non-executive directors is more than the limit specified in the section 197, and the same can be paid only if the above mentioned conditions are specified. કે SR પાસ કરો અને default કર્યો હોય તો એ લોકોની approving પેલો લઈ આવો, approval લઈ આવો. પછી હું third. The company also proposes to pay suitable additional remuneration to Mr. Bhatt, a director for professional services rendered as software engineer whenever such services are utilized. The services are rendered under professional nature. NRCA in the company is covered. Any applicable approval in the given case, a proposal to pay suitable additional remuneration to Mr. Bhatt, a director of professional service rendered as a software engineer, is valid, provided that in the opinion of NRC or board, as the case may be, Mr. Bhatt possesses the requisite qualification for the practice of the profession. Sure. Practical question 11. Practical question 11. Yes. Advance Mr. Super Specialities Limited in respect of payment of remuneration of rupees 40,000. 40,000 per મહિના આપવાના છે. To the whole-time director of the company running in loss. ચાલ ભાઈ, company loss માં છે એટલે no additional profit છે. And having an effective capital of rupees 95 લાખ. 95 લાખ છે એટલે તો હવે પેલું effective capital 95 લાખ એટલે 5 કરોડ થી ઓછું છે, less than 5 કરોડ. તમે 60 લાખ આપો ભાઈ, 0 થી 5 કરોડ ની વચ્ચે રહો તો 60 લાખ પર એનામ which full-time director બરાબર. હવે હું કેટલું આપવા માંગે છે? 40,000 પર મહિના આપને ભાઈ, 4.5 લાખ થાય છે, પણ એનામ full-time director as it is within the specified limit. However, the payment of such shall be possible only if the following conditions are satisfied. Payment of remuneration is approved by board resolution, and in the case of a company covered by only by NRC, the company has not committed any default in payment of dues to any bank or public financial institution or non-convertible debenture holders or any other secured creditor, and in such a case, prior approval annual ordinary resolution or a special resolution, as the case may be passed at the general meeting of the company, authorizing the payment of remuneration such shall remain valid for a period not exceeding 3 years. A statement is given to the shareholders containing all the relevant information along with the notice. Calling the aforesaid general meeting આ 4 પોઈન્ટ ગોખવા પડશે તો પહેલા ગોખી દઈએ. પહેલું જે પેમેન્ટ ઓફ રેમ્યુનરેશન ઇઝ અપ્રુવ્ડ બાય બીઆર અને જો એનઆરસી એપ્લિકેબલ છે તો એનઆરસી પહેલો પોઈન્ટ થઈ ગયો. પછી બીજો પોઈન્ટ એ શું કહે છે કે કોઈ બી ડિફોલ્ટ નહીં કરવા જોઈએ 4 જણના. એક તો બેંક છે આપણી, પછી ભાઈ છે પીએફઆઈ, પછી આપણા છે ડિબેન્ચર અને પછી છે આપણા સિક્યોર્ડ ક્રેડિટર્સ. આના ડિફોલ્ટ નહીં થવા જોઈએ. પછી સ્પેશિયલ રિઝોલ્યુશન કે ઓર્ડિનરી રિઝોલ્યુશન પાસ થઈ જવું જોઈએ, પણ એ 3 years થી વધારે વાળું નહીં હોવું જોઈએ. 3 વર્ષની અંદર અંદર કર્યું તો ચાલશે. અને ચોથું છે, ચોથું શું છે? ચોથું તો બધી રેલેવન્ટ ઇન્ફોર્મેશન આપો. ઓલ ઇન્ફો ટુ બી ગિવન. પતી ગયું. ઇઝી, સિમ્પલ. 4 સ્ટેપ. બીઆર પ્લસ એનઆરસી. સેકન્ડ, ડિફોલ્ટ કર્યો તો એનું પ્રાયર અપ્રુવલ લઈ લે. થર્ડ, એસઆર ઓવર more than 3 years વાળું અને all information to be given. પતી ગયું. It will be in accordance with Schedule 5. The company suffered heavy losses during the financial year ended 31st March 2022. The company was not in a position to pay any remuneration but was paid rupees 50 lakhs for the year. શું થઈ ગયું? ઓકે, ક્વેશ્ચન જ ચાલુ થઈ ગયેલો છે. પ્રેક્ટિકલ ક્વેશ્ચન 12. હવે શું છે પ્રેક્ટિકલ ક્વેશ્ચન 12 માં? Mr. X, a director of Sunrise Limited, was appointed as a managing director on 1st April 2018. One of the terms of appointment was that in the absence of adequacy of profits or the company had no profits in a particular year, he will be paid remuneration in accordance with Schedule 5. The company suffered heavy losses by no profit આવી ગયું during the financial year ended 31st March 2022. Okay, the company was not in a position to pay any remuneration, but he was paid 50 lakh રૂપિયા આપી દે ભાઈ, બહુ પૈસા છે. For the year as paid to other directors. Effective capital of the company is rupees 150 crore by 150 crore by મોંઘી કંપની છે. Referring to the as content, examine the validity. 150 crore ની effective capital છે એટલે 150 crore હોય તો up to rupees 120 lakhs per annum આપી શકે. ભાઈ આપને 50 લાખ આપવું છે ના ભાઈ, પેમેન્ટ ઇઝ વેલિડ ભાઈ, પૈસો છે તો આપની કા ના છે. ચાલ પ્રેક્ટિકલ ક્વેશ્ચન 3rd. Venus Limited is a widely held listed company having 2 executive directors who are technocrats. The company suffered heavy losses by last 4 years માં બહુ ઘાટામાં ચાલી ગઈ છે. The company wants to enhance the remuneration of the executive directors to rupees 6 lakh per મહિના. ભાઈ સાહેબ, from existing remuneration of rupees 4 lakh. અત્યારે 4 lakh છે, પછી 6 lakh આપવું છે. ચાલ બરાબર. The audited balance sheet as on 31st March reveals that the paid up share capital of the company is rupees 15 crores, accumulated losses are rupees 11 crores, and secured long-term loans borrowings are rupees 15 crores. Besides, the company has long-term investments of rupees 11 crores. The company's remuneration committee has recommended the proposal and the company is regular in payments. તો પહેલા તો જો આપણે ઇફેક્ટિવ કેપિટલ કાઢવું પડશે, એમ નહીં ચાલે ને. પહેલા ઇફેક્ટિવ કેપિટલ કઈ રીતે કાઢશે? આપણે 15 crore પેડ અપ કેપિટલ એડ કર, પ્લસ 5 crore ટર્મ બોરોઇંગ્સ એડ કરી દે, માઇનસ શું કરી દે, અક્યુમ્યુલેટેડ લોસ માઇનસ થઈ જાય આપણું બાપુ. પછી લોંગ ટર્મ ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ બી માઇનસ થઈ જાય અને આ 2 crore આ બધાનું નેગેટિવ 2 crore આવી ગયું નેગેટિવ. હવે આપણું તો નેગેટિવ માં છે એટલે મેક્સિમમ આપી શકે આપણે 60 લાખ. હવે 60 લાખની ઉપર આપ્યું છે, કેટલું આપ્યું છે? 6 લાખ × 12 એટલે 72 લાખ રૂપિયા આપ્યા છે. હવે 72 લાખ રૂપિયા અપાય તો ખરી, ના નથી, પણ તમારે એસઆર પાસ કરી દો, વાંધો નથી. એસઆર પાસ કરી દો તો 72 લાખની 60 લાખની ઉપર બી અપાય, વાંધો નહીં. ચાલો આગળ વધો. ચાલ practical question 14. Excel Limited is a listed company with a turnover of rupees 60 crores in financial year 2016-17. 16-17 માં શું છે? ટર્નઓવર 60 crore છે. પછી the company appoints Mrs. R as a woman director on 1st March 2017. Miss R is already a director in 12 companies including 10 public companies. Also, Mrs. R is a chartered accountant in practice. Further, also Mr. R is a director in Supreme Limited where she is acting in a professional capacity. Okay, Supreme Limited in a professional capacity. Since lots of proposals for the holding of directorship in various companies are lined up before Miss R, so in order to retain her, the Remuneration and Nomination Committee proposed to enhance the remuneration of Miss R from 4 lakhs per month to rupees 6 lakh per month. However, Supreme Limited was running in losses for last 2 years. By બહુ ડિમાન્ડ છે મિસ આર ની, એની સેલરી વધારો ભાઈ તો દે રહે અહીંયા. Evaluate in the light of the given facts the following with reference to the provision of the Companies Act, the validity of appointment. As per section, a person shall not hold office, including any person exceeding. In the above case, since Mr. R is already a director in 10 public, she cannot be appointed as a woman director in Excel Limited. Therefore, the appointment of Miss R as a woman director in Excel Limited is not valid. Analyze the proportion or enhancement of remuneration of Miss R in Supreme Limited. હવે આમાં શું છે કે a company having no profits may pay the okay or other day in accordance in further when a manager is functioning in a professional capacity. Remuneration is specified in A may be paid if such manager person or other directive possess a graduate level with expertise and special knowledge in the field which the company operates. Furthermore, the limits specified under A and B or section 2 of part 2 of schedule 5 shall apply if payment of remuneration is approved by a board resolution and also by the remuneration and in the case the company is covered under. In the given case, Ms. R is a chartered accountant and also acting in a professional capacity in Supreme. So she can be paid remuneration as per the limit specified in section 2 of part 2 of schedule 5. The said limits depend on the quantum of effective capital of the company. Since the effective capital of the Supreme Limited is not given, we can only say that it can pay or increase the remuneration of Ms. R as per the limits given thereunder. However, in case the proposed remuneration of rupees 6 lakhs per month is higher than the limit prescribed, the same can be paid only if the SR is passed by SR. Hence, the state approval shall be valid only if the above mentioned provisions are complied with. ભાઈ કઈ આપ્યું નથી તો જવા દે જય માતાજી ખાલી પ્રોવિઝન છાપીને આવી જવાનું છે. Practical question 15. PQR Limited is paying remuneration to its non-executive directors at the rate of 1% of the net profits of the company, distributed equally among all the non-executive directors. Is it possible for the company to pay minimum remuneration to non-executive directors besides sitting fee in the event of loss of a financial year? Payment, okay, and if a company has no profit or its profit are inadequate, the company shall not apply by way of remuneration payment as per and sitting fees. Thus, from the above, it can be concluded that in the event in a loss, it is possible to pay minimum remuneration besides for sitting fees to non-executive directors. Provisions શું છે નેગેટિવ ઓર લેસ દેન 5 કરોડ છે તો 12 લાખ જ અપાય 5 કરોડ થી 100 કરોડ 17 લાખ 24 લાખ અને 24 લાખ થી પેલો. However, the remuneration and excess can be specified. Above we કહીએ special resolution pass કરી દેજે ભાઈ. And in case the day is employed by a part of it, the limit shall be prorated only if the conditions specified in section 2 of part 2 of schedule 5 are complied with. Okay. Practical question 16. EF Chemicals Limited proposes to appoint one whole-time technical director on a consolidated monthly remuneration of rupees 30,000 and a whole-time marketing director on a consolidated salary of rupees 25,000 per month for a period of 3 years with effect from 1st September 2022. The company has got a managing director and he is getting rupees 40,000 per month. Explain the requirements in the Companies Act to be complied with by the company in connection with the proposed appointment of whole-time directors taking into account the following data collected from the balance sheet. Firstly, the company should check that the proposed holders are not disqualified to be appointed as per now under section 160. It should be also verified that the eligibility conditions given in part 1 of the schedule 5 are also complied with. Further, as per the terms and conditions of appointment, managing director, whole-time director, managing shall be approved board ordinary CG no variance as per section 190. So in case of loss or the company can pay remuneration to its director as per the schedule 5. પેડ અપ શેર કેપિટલ છે એમાં ડિબેન્ચર્સ એડ થઈ જશે લેસ થઈ જશે ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ અક્યુમુલેટેડ લોસ પ્રિલિમિનરી એક્સપેન્સીસ નોટ રિટર્ન ઓફ અને ઇફેક્ટિવ કેપિટલ આવી જશે 65 લાખ રૂપિયા તો 5 કરોડથી ઓછું છે એટલે તો 60 લાખ જ આપો તો in excess of maybe special resolution. Applying the above, EF Chemical Limited can make the proposed investment of full-time director after getting necessary approvals as per section 196 subsection 4 mentioned about. Further, the financial data of the company, it seems that the company is not making profits and therefore it shall be required to pay remuneration as per schedule 5. EF Chemicals proposed to pay monthly amount of the whole-time director and monthly or 25,000 to whole-time manager as well as monthly amount of 40,000 to the already appointed managing director are all within the limits of schedule 5. Thus, the company can go ahead with the proposed appointments. However, since remuneration is paid as per schedule 5, the following conditions as per પાછું કરી જાવ ગયું બીઆર નહીં વાળો હજી આપણે જો ફટાફટ રિઝોલ્યુશન બાય બોર્ડ એનઆરસી હોય તો એનઆરસી પછી ડિફોલ્ટ કર્યો તો એનું પેલા એની જે કમિટી છે તેમાંથી અપ્રુવલ લઈ લો એક્સિડન્ટ 3 years સ્પેશિયલ રિઝોલ્યુશન કોઓર્ડિનેટ રિઝોલ્યુશન મોર દેન 3 years વાળું નહીં હોવું જોઈએ અને સ્ટેટમેન્ટ પતી ગયું ચાલો આગળ પ્રેક્ટિકલ ક્વેશ્ચન 17 નિમુંચ ફાર્મા લિમિટેડ મસ્ત નામ છે ને having an effective capital of rupees 4 crore, 5 crore there. On the first raised rupees 2 crores by way of issue of right shares in May 2022. During the current financial year 2022-23, the company is managed by Mr. Chandrasekhar the managing director, and he's getting a minimum remuneration of rupees 80,000 per month. The company proposes to appoint two whole-time directors in July 22 on a consolidated minimum salary for the purpose of the set of requirements to be complied with. Okay, thank you. Okay, in the given case, since the full-time are being appointed and the effective capital as on 31/3 shall be considered for paying remuneration. The effective capital shall be taken as 4 crores and the amount raised by way of rights issue shall be ignored. Past year એટલે ઇફેક્ટિવ કેપિટલ 4 કરોડ છે પણ 2 કરોડ તો પછી થયું છે એટલે આપણે તો ફિનાન્શિયલ 22-23 એટલે આ વર્ષમાં જ જો વર્ષે ને રાઇટ ઇસ્યુ તો મે 22 માં થયું એટલે એની પહેલાનું જોઈ લેવાનું 4 કરોડના હિસાબે આપવું પડશે એઝ પર સેક્શન 60 લાખ આપો company's proposal to pay month of rupees 60 to each of the two as well as monthly sum within the schedule. Thus the company can go ahead, however, since okay પાછું એ જ ચાર વસ્તુ આવી ગયું ચાર વસ્તુ આવી ગયું 4 પોઈન્ટ યાદ રાખવાના કયા 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 resolution NRC default special resolution or 3-year statement પતી ગયું રેમ્યુનરેશન નો પોઈન્ટ આવે 4 પોઈન્ટ નો અપ્રુવલ લેવાનો સમજી લેજો 60 લાખ વાળો 60 પેલું જે નો પ્રોફિટ વાળું શેડ્યુલ 5 માં જાય એટલે 4 પોઈન્ટ લખવાના છે સમજી લેજો માર્ક મળી જાય ગજવામાં માર્ક છે. The articles of association who are listed company provides for a fixed payment of sitting fee for each meeting of the directors subject to minimum or maximum of rupees 30,000. In view of the increased responsibilities of independent directors of the company proposes to increase the sitting fee to rupees 45,000 per meeting. Advise the company about the requirement. 1 lakh ni exceed the shall not exceed per meeting of the board or committee. The articles may prescribe an amount lesser than. Further, the board may prescribe different sitting fees for different directors. Applying the sitting fees payable to the independent can be increased from 30 per meeting by passing a board resolution and altering articles by passing a SR to increase the maximum sitting fees to rupees 45,000. So, practical question 19. A Limited wants to include the following clauses in this article of association. Each director shall be entitled to be paid out of the funds of the company for attending meetings of the board or a committee thereof, including adjourned meeting. Such sum as sitting fees as shall be determined from time to time by the directors, but not exceeding a sum of rupees 1,50,000 for each and such meeting to be attended by the director. You are required. આગળ તો વાંચો ભાઈ 1 લાખ સુધી જ આપો હું ગમેથી મારો છો. Since it is more than the ceiling limit of rupees 1 lakh as given under section 197. Chalo, practical question 20. Mr. Weldon was appointed as a director of Square Engineering Limited with effect from 1st April 2021. Since the company, namely Square Engineering Limited, wanted to take full advantage of the wisdom and expertise of Mr. Weldon, it offered him remuneration payable on monthly basis. Chalo, monthly basis पर आइपो. Esquire Engineering Limited started paying such remuneration from the date of appointment and continued to do so till 31st March 2022 સુધી આપ્યા ગયેલું. પછી on scrutiny of the accounts, it was established that the company till 31st March has paid to Mr. Weldon a total sum of rupees 1.20 lakhs in excess of the remuneration permissible under section 197. Okay, આમાં શું છે? He shall refund such terms within 2 years or such lesser period as may be allowed by the company, and under such term he shall hold it in trust for the company. Further, as per section 1, a company shall not waive the recovery of the state remuneration. However, the recovery can be waived if a SR, if a SR is passed within 2 years from the date sum becomes refundable, and if the company had defaulted in payment of dues to any bank, તો એની prior approval લઈ લો. વેવ બે કન્ડિશનમાં કરી શકે જ્યારે SR લઈ લીધો હોય અને PFI વાળી PFI બેંક debentures વાળું debenture holders, convertible debenture holders and security creditors ની prior approval લઈ લો. Therefore, in the given case, Mr. Weldon shall refund the excess remuneration of rupees 1.20 lakhs as per the aforesaid provisions. However, Mr. Weldon can retain the excess remuneration so received only if the conditions prescribed under section 197 subsection 10 are complied with by the company. Sure. Practical question 21. Guarantee commission has been paid to one of the non-executive directors for having guaranteed the loans obtained from a financial institution. Examine whether the payment of such guarantee commission is to non-executive directors who are neither in the whole-time employment of the company nor managing directors in accordance with the provisions of Companies Act. As per section 197, the remuneration payable to a director for the services rendered by him in any other capacity shall be included in managerial remuneration for determining the total manager is within the registrar. However, when a director gives guarantee for the term loans of the company, he cannot be said to be rendering service to the company in any other capacity. By giving guarantee, the director is taking a risk by creating personal liability for which he receives guarantee commission. In Succession Textile Bearing Limited versus Union of India, it was held that guarantee commission paid by a company to its director for standing surety for loans and credit facilities taken by the company was not remuneration for any services rendered within the meaning of Section 197. मतलब ये तुम्हें कोई सर्विस नहीं आपका प्रोफेशनल कैपेसिटी में. Thus, any guarantee commission paid to a non-executive director shall not be included in managerial remuneration for determining that the total remuneration is within the limits prescribed under Section 197, subsection 1. Now, practical question 22. CDC Limited is an unlisted public company having a paid up share capital of rupees 100 crore. 100 crore low paid up share capital on its 31st March 20. The company has made a turnover of rupees 300 crores for the financial year ended 31st March 2022. The articles of association of the company provides for payment of sitting fees to directors for each board meeting, thereof subject to maximum of rupees 40,000 per meeting. The board is comprised of independent directors and women directors also. The company is having 7 directors in its audit committee. Shri PKV, working a financial advisor of the was designated as CFO from 1st April 2020. He retired from service on superannuation on 31st March 2021. He is in receipt of monthly pension of rupees 80,000 from the company. It is proposed to appoint Sri PKV as an independent director of the company. The board of directors proposes to fix sitting fees rupees 50,000 per meeting to independent directors and rupees 30,000 per meeting of woman director. 40,000 तो रखना पड़ेगा taking their experience and qualification. The light appointment as an independent director. So, means was neither himself or any of the relatives holds as a fee manager person in the company or its holding company or its subsidiary company or its associate in any of the three financial years immediately. CDC wants to open as an India, but since Mr. PK was designated as CFO, which is one of the KMP from 1st April to 31st March 2021, he is disqualified to be appointed as independent directors to CDC Limited as per Section 149, subsection 6. હવે શું છે ફિક્સિંગ રૂપીસ 50,000 બરાબર છે પણ પેલું 30,000 ની ચાલે ઇક્વલ આપવું પડે 40,000 જેટલું આપી દો. Ramanan, the maximum payable sitting fees must be increased to rupees 50,000 or more. Okay. However, sitting fee of rupee for independent is valid since it is not less than the sitting fee payable to other director. Other director જેટલું આપવું પડે. Minimum number of minimum number of independent directors. Okay, the company is having 7 directors in its audit committee, or the majority થઈ જાય 4 independent director જોઈશે ના આપણને. Since a higher number of independent directors are required to be appointed due to composition, have to appoint at least 4 directors as independent directors. Must have at least 2 independent as its paid up share capital and an overboard exceeds the prescribed limit. However, has appointed 7 directors in the audit committee. As per section 179, an audit committee must have minimum three directors majority, which must be independent directors. So in the given case, at least 4 directors in audit committee must be independent directors. Since a higher number of independent directors that is required, આપણે કેટલા કરેલા છે આપણે બે કર્યા ને પીકેવી ને જ કર્યું ને આ તો ઉપરનું પેલું બધું ભાષણ ભાષણ આપે છે કે પેડ અપ શેર કેપિટલ ને ટર્નઓવર ને એના હિસાબે બે હોવા જોઈએ પણ હવે આપણે તો 4 કરવા પડશે ને ચાલ કોઈ નહીં મિનિમમ નંબર મેક્સિમમ સિટિંગ ફી ટુ ડિરેક્ટર મેક્સિમમ સિટિંગ ફી ટુ ડિરેક્ટર 1 લાખ રૂપિયા આપો 1 લાખ રૂપિયા આપો પર મીટિંગ ચલો વાંધો નહીં. Assuming is a government company, whatever in the matter of appointment of Mr. KV as an independent director are applicable to the government companies also. Therefore, it will make no difference even if CTC Limited was a government company. Mr. PKV should still be disqualified to be appointed as an independent director of CTC Limited for the same reason as mentioned in point 1. Chalo, practical question. Oh shit. Problem over here. Practical question 23. You are a young woman chartered accountant. Chalo, you are a young chartered accountant from India, having graduated from a top-notch business school in India and later on become a CPA from USA. You have special acumen providing a scratch to end business advisory and regulatory related solutions. Your client, Miss Newtech Software Solutions Limited entity, is a listed entity engaged in developing customized software packages for two and three-wheeler mobiles. The company follows strict corporate governance norms in letter. Okay, Mr. X, Mr. Y, non-independent and non-executive director, Mr. A, B, C, and D, independent director, Miss E, independent and woman director. During the company paid the following remuneration: monthly remuneration of rupees 50,000 plus commission of rupees 2 lakh calculated as percentage of net profits. Mr. Y, non-independent and non-executive director, commission at the rate of 1% of the net profit. Uh, Mr. Y was paid a fee of was paid a fee rupees 1 lakh for the services rendered by him as a graduate civil engineer for valuing. Though he is not a registered valuer, he carried the valuation assumption that it can be done by a person having such qualification and experience for the registered valuers. Payment of rupees 5 lakh insurance premium towards directors and officers liability policy to protect the company against any negligence. Mr. X, the managing director, claim of rupees 1 lakh was lodged into the insurance company as a result of guilty of negligence. Whether the payments made to Mr. X and Mr. Y forms part for an overall. As well, okay, 11% of the net profits पूछ रहे पच्चीस पूछ रहे a director may be paid remuneration by monthly. Okay, the services rendered on professional share NRC according in the given case. Mr. Payment made to Mr. X comprising of monthly remuneration of rupees 50,000 and commission of rupees 2 lakh and the payment of the premium amount of rupees 5 lakh on account of being guilty due to negligence will form the part of the overall maximum managerial રેમ્યુનરેશન કેમ કે આમાં કેવું છે જો ઇન્સ્યોરન્સ પ્રીમિયમમાં ગિલ્ટી નહીં છે ત્યાં સુધી પેલો કંપની ભર્યા કરે છે તો વાંધો નહીં પણ જો ગિલ્ટી થઈ ગયા તો તમારા રેમ્યુનરેશનમાં એ ગણાઈ જશે ઇન રિસ્પેક્ટ ઓફ મિસ્ટર વાય કમિશન પેડ at the rate of 1% of the net profit will form part of the overall maximum manager further as per fee of rupees 1 lakh paid to him for valuing the assets shall also form part of the overall manager since he cannot be said to have rendered service on a professional nature as he does not have requisite professional qualification. Okay. Where the payment of insurance to directors and officers form part of remuneration of Mr. X. In the given case, a claim of rupees was lodged with the insurance company as a result of being gratuity due. Therefore, payment of the rupees shall be treated as part of remuneration of Mr. X. तो ऊपर भी discuss कर दे दो. One on three, who is the approving or recommending authority for the to Mr. Y? As per second, the overall managing remuneration payable to any other than MD and W in respect of any when there is an MD whole-time director in the commission not exceed 1% of the net profits for the year. However, the remuneration exceeding passing SR and A in the given case, there is a managing director that is Mr. X. So Mr. Y's remuneration not exceed 1% of the net profit. But the company has paid rupees 1 lakh as fees for valuation of services that will lead to payment for remuneration in excess of therefore the payment of remuneration to Mr. Y will require the approval of the company in general meeting by passing the SR further as NTSSL is a listed company. The NRC and Remuneration Committee shall make a recommendation to the board with respect to the payment of commission to the valuation for valuation service to Mr. Y. Okay. NRC भी लागी से ना पेलो भी लागी so no answer. A public limited company is finalizing its account for the year ended 31/3/2023 and the CFO has been asked to compute the net profit for the purpose of managerial remuneration on the basis of the following. Net profit 500 lakhs. Profit includes the following items: profit from sale of the machinery. Profit from does not include the following interest. Calculate as for the purpose of determining the managerial remuneration. For the purpose of calculating manager payable under 197, the below mentioned items shall not be credited. Shall not be credited. 500 lakhs minus 50 લાખ કર્યો forfeited share ની 1 લાખ વાળી amount interest on unsecured debt return of બધું minus કરી નાખવા દો. Chal, practical question 25. Mr. Gopi is a managing director of LGB Limited. The company wants to vacate the post of managing director on 31st March 2023 and appoint Mr. Lakshmikant in place of Mr. Gopi due to the hands-on experience and better track records. The tenure of appointment of Mr. Gopi is up to 30th June 2027, with the condition that he will get compensation in case of early vacation of his due to the company's requirements. Mr. Gopi was okay. Mr. Gopi approached you to know the amount of compensation. The પહેલા આ ત્રણનું આવી જશે 45 આવી જશે કેટલું આવશે into 350 plus 45 plus 45 plus 50, 135 આવે ગયું 135 divided by 3, 45, 45 into 3, 135 lakhs. 135 lakhs maximum લઈ શકશે. If ordinary is only કેમ પણ કેવી રીતે આવ્યું હોય તો જોઈ લે. In the remaining as per the compensation from office can be paid only the MD or whole-time director or manager. Compensation cannot be paid to any director. The compensation can be paid for the remaining period of term or 3 years, whichever is less. Further, it will be calculated on the basis of average remuneration actually earned by the director during a period of 3 years immediately preceding the date on which he ceased to hold office. However, where he held the office for a lesser period than 3 years, the average remuneration will be calculated based on such period. Okay. Practical question 26. Mr. Raman is a managing director of X company. He resigns from his office as a result of amalgamation of the X company with the other body corporate. Further, he is appointed as a managing director of the body corporate resulting from the amalgamation. State in the light of the Companies Act 2000 whether his which company liable to his manager to compensate for the loss. In section for loss of from can be paid only as a manager or compensation not paid to any director. However, no payment shall be made to MD in case the director resigns from his office as a result of the reconstruction of the company or its amalgamation and is appointed as a managing director or manager of or other officer of the reconstructed company of the amalgamated company. Therefore, in the above case, X company is not liable to pay compensation for the loss of office due to office to Mr. Raman since he is appointed as a managing director of the body corporate resulting from the amalgamation. Okay, practical question 27. Mr. Doubtful was appointed as a managing director of Carefree Industries Limited for a period of 5 years with effect from 1st April 2020 on a salary of rupees 12 lakhs per annum with other purposes. The board of directors of the company, on coming to know of certain questionable transactions, terminated the services of the manager from 1/3/2023, termed his removal as illegal and claimed compensation from the company. Meanwhile, the company has paid a sum of rupees 5 lakhs on ad hoc basis to Mr. Doubtful. Settlement of his dues. Discuss whether the company is bound to pay compensation to me and if so, how much. The company can recover the amount of paid on the ground that he is not entitled to any commission because he is a guilty. In the given case, the question is silent about whether on detection of alleged questionable transaction was actually proved to be guilty of fraud or breach of trust, negligence or gross. The company is not bound to pay compensation to if it has been found guilty of any fraud or breach. However, if it is found that Mr. Doubtful was not guilty of fraud, he should be entitled to compensation. The compensation payable to him shall not exceed rupees 25 lakhs, calculated at the rate of rupees 1/3/2023 for the remain for his remaining term of 25 for his remaining term of 25 months. Was appointed as a managing director for a period of 5 years. 5 years क्या હતું 1/4/2020 એટલે ઓકે 2023 એટલે આખો માર્ચ આવી જશે માર્ચ અને પછીના બે આખા વર્ષ એટલે 24 મહિના પ્લસ 1 મહિનો એટલે ઇક્વલ ટુ 25 મહિના થયા 25 મંથ્સની સેલરી અને પર એનમ પર એનમ એટલું લઈ જાય એટલે એક મહિનાનું એ એક મહિનાની 1 લાખ રૂપિયા લઈ જાય ઇન્ટુ 1 લાખ એટલે આ 25 લાખ રૂપિયાથી એક્સીડ નહીં થવી જોઈએ. There is no provision in Section 2 which allows the company to recover any compensation for loss wrongly paid to any managerial person. Section 2 a few circumstances which compensation need not be paid to the managerial person, but if the company has already paid some compensation later on discovered the company was thus the compensation of rupees 5 lakhs paid by the company cannot be recovered if later on it is proved that it was actually guilty or breach of trust. Okay. Board of Directors of Colorful Textiles having an effective capital of rupees 4 crores proposed to appoint one of its directors, Mr. Shyam, as managing director for 5 years with effect from 1st December 2016 on a consolidated monthly salary of rupees 40,000 per month. Mr. Shyam is already the managing director of Unique Yarn Limited, receiving a consolidated salary of rupees 35,000 per month. The effective capital of Unique Yarn Limited is rupees 2 crores. What are the legal requirements? Okay, ordinary resolution CG is a manager. Such appointments are visiting should be passed consent specific notice. Part 2, 60 lakhs for the 60 lakhs can get paid up no profits or inadequate profits for the section. Shall draw an ML from one or both companies that are drawn from the companies does not exceed the higher maximum from any of one of the companies of which he is a managing director. The effective of Mr. is rupees 4 crores, so the maximum here is 60 lakhs. Similarly, the effect of his so it can also pay a maximum of 60 lakhs. Therefore, as per section 5 of the total paid Mr. Shyam for both the companies cannot exceed rupees 60 lakhs. The total remuneration to be drawn by Mr. from both the companies will be only rupees 9 lakhs. Hence, it is within the limits. The wants to appoint Mr. Shyam as its MD. It can do so by complying with the provision of Section 196, Subsection 4, and Section 203 as mentioned above. Even if Unicans is a private company, the answer will remain the same since the applicability of the above mentioned provision of Companies Act does not depend upon the status that is public or of the company in which Mr. Shyam is already a director. Question 29. Mr. Amit is the MD of ANG Limited, which is a non-government public company. The directors of CHS Limited decided to appoint Mr. Amit as the managing director of the company, even though Mr. Amit decided not to vacate his place in office of ANG Limited. A notice for board meeting specifying a resolution containing the proposal of appointment of Mr. Amit was served to all the eligible directors of CHS Limited. Out of 8 directors of the company, 6 directors attended, and out of them, 4 directors gave consent. The 1 director voted against. The board of secure opinion. नहीं था इसका unanimous resolution जो है. In the given case, he wants to appoint Mr. Amit as the managing director. Okay, but since the board member out of present only 4 have voted in favor, you cannot be said to appoint. Hence, Mr. Amit cannot be appointed as managing director of CHH. Practical question 30. Primus Group of companies has 3 companies: Primus Rolling Mills Limited, Primus Steel Pipe Manufacturers Limited, and Primus Marketing Company Limited. All 3 companies want to appoint Mr. Prem as their managing director. नहीं, कोई भी एक मत है सकता. You are required. Okay, MD or if the following condition the following managing director is either the person can be managing director of maximum 2 companies, subject to full of the above mentioned specified. So it is not for all the 3 companies of Primus as a managing director in maximum 2 directors. Only 2 companies only. Practical question 31. ABC Limited, an unlisted company having a paid up share capital of 10 crores rupees during the preceding financial year, appointed Shri X, a fellow member of the ICAI, as CFO. Okay, who is appointed as KMP under Section 203. Shri X is also a fellow member of ICSI. The company secretary post has become vacant. In order to reduce the administrative expenses, the company proposed to in addition of CFO. No, Bobby, no. Managing director of CFO or manager in their absence, a full-time director, company secretary, and CFO. अबे चल ही सकते. Every listed public company or every other public company having paid up 10 crore, and ABC Limited is having paid up share 10 crore. It is for it to appoint a KMP as per section. It is pretty clear that the companies covered in this provision must have at least 3 whole-time KMPs. One of the whole-time KMP can be either a MD, CEO, CFO managing or whole-time, and the other 2 whole-time KMPs must mandatorily be a CS or a CFO, as the term used is whole-time. Therefore, 3 different individuals are required to hold 3 positions. For the section 203 specifically prescribes the word and between company secretary and CFO. Thus, both the positions are to be held by separate persons. Okay, therefore, the company cannot appoint Mr. X as the company secretary for the company. In addition to that, which of the key men are required to be appointed by which of the following? ABC Limited is a listed company. बद्दा जाइए जैसा. પેડ અપ શેર 11 crore છે એટલે A ને B માં ત્રણે અપોઇન્ટ કરવા પડશે. પછી શું છે? C Limited is an unlisted public company having a paid up share capital of rupees 7 crores. જવા દો, ચાલશે. કઈ નથી, ડાયરેક્ટ પછી C માં તો ચાલશે. D is an unlisted company having a paid up, આ બી ચાલશે. E Private Limited is an unlisted having paid up share, આ બી ચાલશે. is having a paid up share capital 12 crore તો નહીં ચાલે. એટલે આમાં અપોઇન્ટ કરવો પડશે. Full-time CS. Full-time CS. Full-time CS ના appoint કરવો પડશે. ચાલો, practical question 33. Last 2 is remaining. Yay! Practical question 33. Explain the provision of the Companies Act 2013. Examine whether the following companies are required to get secretarial audit. ABC is a company listed at BSC and has a paid up share capital of rupees 40 crore. Every listed public company, okay. Every public company having a turnover of rupees 50 crores. Every company having a paid up share capital loans exceeding rupees 100 crores. Listed at Bombay Stock Exchange, it will manually required to be have secretarial audit. It's a company which has a paid up of rupees 60 crores and has a turnover of rupees 100 crores. During the finance, the company is not listed. So, 50 will also be required to get as its paid up share capital 50 crore. paid up share capital 50 crore છે પેલું 250 crore છે અને every company having outstanding loans 100 crore છે. Okay. Practical question 34. Messes Asian Limited, a public limited company, has a paid up share capital of rupees 55 crore. Answer the following. Whether it is obligatory for the company to get the secretarial audit conducted. Yes, paid up share capital of 55 crore. How said it? To get the secretarial audit conducted, will it make any difference if the paid up share capital is rupees 35 crore? Yes. So much नहीं लगता. Are not attracted. Section 204 are not attracted. 35 crore होता है. तो state as whether Mrs. is required to appoint a full time company secretary public limited છે તો પછી or shall appoint a full time key manager since paid up share capital is more than rupees 10 crores is required to appoint a full time key managerial personnel. And with that we complete the whole chapter 3, all the questions done in singular video in one go. Thank you.